Okay, so I bring greetings this afternoon, this glorious Saturday afternoon, from the Coalition Against Domestic Violence. We are so uplifted to be here together, all of us together, as we celebrate our achievements, but also as we celebrate our resolve to work in collective strength to attain equality, justice, and peace. Let there be no question about it. Trinidad and Tobago is facing some real hard and challenging times. I think you all would all agree, yes? We have an explosion of violence and insecurity. None of us are maybe 1 or 2 degrees of separation away from someone we know who has been murdered or has been seriously injured. That is exactly the truth. Weapons intended to hurt and to cause serious injury are readily accessible, and apparently no one knows how to stop the flow of weapons into this country. The economy is contracting, many are facing joblessness, poverty is increasing, times are hard for many, and the cost of living is so very high. And we know for women the impacts of that are quite significant, because women take care of the children, they take care of the elderly, they take care of the sick, they take care of men and boys. And so when the economy contracts, women experience that poverty in a different way and in a harder way. So I think we want to also know that we are living in really insecure times. Insecurity marks our daily existence. And funnily enough, and lamentably enough, some of the institutions that are meant to keep us stable are themselves bedeviled with mayhem and chaos. And so there's no choice. We have to rely on ourselves to fix what needs to be fixed in this country. We must organize as we are doing today, and it is with thought and with solidarity that we can help each other to make the state account to us for how our money is spent, how the services are delivered, and how justice is accessed. And if we are engaged and armed with knowledge, which we all must be, we can become the active majority, not the minority, the active majority, insisting on inclusive development, insisting on transparent government, but also transparent opposition. We can insist on the rule of law, or we can insist on peace. All of these are women's issues, without which gender equality cannot be achieved. And so we all have to demand and be the change we want to see in the world. And for the Coalition Against Domestic Violence, the change we want to see in this world is a world free of perpetration and tolerance for all forms of violence in the home and in the community. We want a world without patriarchy. We want a world without unequal relations between women and men, between adults and children, and indeed between people and the state. We want a world of social and economic justice. And so we call on the police, especially the police, to respond with fairness and effectiveness and diligence to all reports of domestic violence, which are punishable as crimes against the person. We appreciate that the police job is challenging, no doubt, and we send love and support to those who protect and serve. But police are in a special and trusted position because of their powers, and we expect and demand more from the police. We want to stop hearing from women, as I heard just yesterday. I went to the police, but they didn't even take my report. Or, my husband is a big man, those police not bothering with me. We want to stop hearing those stories. We call upon the health sector workers, we call upon teachers, we call upon all of us to alert and report to the police when we are aware that violence is being done to the elderly, to children, to women, to men and boys in our communities. And we also urge, and we are heartened to hear, that the government has a draft national strategy to end gender-based violence, and we look forward to receiving that for consultation, and we look forward to being fully and effectively enforced. And crucially, we call for an education system which transmits values of kindness first and always, kindness and love and gentleness and respect and peace and equality. We call on each of ourselves and our communities to embrace this zero tolerance to violence. And we call on men to join us in speaking out and standing up to end gender-based violence and ending gender inequality. We remind each other and our men folk who are here today, thank you, of the words of Desmond Tutu when he said, "If you are neutral in times of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor." Can I say that again? If you are neutral in times of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. So, we have come together so very well over the many years in our campaigns to end gender-based violence. And these bonds of consciousness and conscience must be expanded and extended. But so too, we have other work that has to be done. We must be concerned about those who are marginalized and silenced because of sexual orientation and gender identity. We must be concerned about those who are oppressed by poverty. We must be concerned about those women who cannot access reproductive services on a basis of choice. And let us be intolerant of discrimination on the basis of ethnicity, color, where you come from, geography, as well as abilities. It is as our Grenadian sister Audre Lorde said many years ago, I am not free while any woman isn't free, even when her shackles are very different from my own. So let us stand together, recognizing that defending the most marginalized amongst us is defending all of us equally. Let us take back our country from the oppressors and the predators. And we have predators, we have sexual predators, but we have economic predators, we have financial predators, we have environmental predators, we have social predators. Let us take our country back from the oppressors and the predators. Let us claim our space, let us claim our voice.